Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday Recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games. And well, as always, we'll start with EVE Online, which I played every day, but especially in the first part of the week I still managed to do a decent amount of EVE Online and still moving some stuff in a Mars space. But I'll be honest, in the second part of the week I hardly played the game at all. Came in, did my NPC kills, which you have to do to get free skill points. Did my PI, took a quick look at the contracts, but nothing special has been happening there, and I still have a couple of days before my next PPC run, so overall pretty passively, and that is because I was hyped for game number 2, which is the league launch for Path of Exile. So when it comes to EVE Online, a little bit of anomaly cleaning. That's usually the way I quickly manage to find a couple of NPCs to destroy. We do that, we get our extra skill points, and then we are good to go for whatever I want to do next. And it was all about I want to prep for something else. So that's exactly the way I've been playing EVE Online. Even when I was playing the game, which was just mostly ferrying goods from one station to a Mar, it was constantly with the skill point tree from Path of Exile open on the other screen. So it was kind of a weird week for me because I was massively hyped by GGG and their announcement for the league launch, and at the same time I kept thinking, well, I'm gonna need something like that from EVE Online as well, from CCP as well. And at the moment we really, except for compression coming to ships, we really don't have any clue as to what they're planning to do. So personally I am hoping that we will see some nice announcements, that we'll get some new stuff to do, some new stuff to sink our teeth in, that the CCP is developing at the moment. And well, my horizon is of course FanFest. I think that's when CCP is planning to give us a lot more information on where they see the game go from here on out. But we will see, of course. For the rest, I'm still playing the game every day. I'm definitely keeping up with my PI, and I am in that maintenance mode where I'm mostly consolidating my stuff, trying to sell some of the things that are high at the moment. But with my new system that I have for the trade hubs with containers, I can now also just very easily move everything into the right containers. Very nice categories for me to quickly check or to keep in mind whenever I make EVE talk as well. And that way I've got basically an efficient way of keeping up with the game, playing it a little bit every single day, but I can basically also decide to just go in there, a little bit of maintenance, and then do something else, which is the way I'm playing EVE Online at the moment. This brings me to game number 2, which is of course Path of Exile, that had the league launch for the Arch Nemesis League and a new expansion, a new late game update for the game that launched on Friday. I was very excited by that. I was massively hyped, and so as a result I really tried to get everything set up so that I could start the league, which for here in Europe is like late in the evening. It was like 2000 hours or something like that when we had league launch, but I decided to commit on that, so I did the update, and then a couple hours before the league actually launched I went into the queue, managed to get place 3030, so I had a very smooth way of getting into the game when the league actually launched, and I was very happy about that initial experience because everything just worked. The patch was very smooth, the game launch was very smooth, no crashes, the league mechanic works without having any real bugs or anything like that. It's quite deadly early on, but it's definitely, like, from a technical standpoint, a very successful launch in my opinion. Then I also shared that with you guys. I made a video on it. My experience was really fruitful. I decided to go for a couple of uniques, and on my third unique, I think it was, I got a tabula rasa, so an immediate 6 link, very satisfying. And on top of that I had a build ready, a build idea ready, which was for a Pathfinder that would really focus on bow damage and poison damage, and it would then use the flask, the automatic flask system, as sort of a defense, because you can basically get 6% of your life back whenever a flask is used. And if you invest a little bit in automatic flasks, that get charges from being hit, you can basically on every hit get healing from that system. So that was my plan. I went in pretty hardcore, played straight to midnight on the first evening, got up at 7 to play some more before making Eve Talk, and I made very quick progression at first, doing a lot of damage. It was a super amount of fun, but I'll be honest, I was probably overhyped a little bit, and as a result, I played all day on Saturday as well. I managed to get my character into maps where it is really struggling. It's a glass cannon, the defenses are not up to snuff. I would need a lot more currency to create all the flasks that I need, to create the belt that I need to create, or to buy the gem. It's not a gem, but it's a delirium item that has a couple of special passives that are basically needed for the defensive setup to work, and I just don't have the currency for that. So basically my experience with this Path of Exile League, as is almost always the case, I got a little bit overhyped, went in full hardcore for the first couple of days. Even on the day of this Sunday recap, I've still been playing my second character quite a little bit, and at first I was really planning to, because I ran out of videos for ESO, to basically give you guys like a daily update on how it was going with this league, hoping that I would be able to get into the maps and maybe even push towards that new late game that does look absolutely cool. But this is the downside, and while I am hoping for some hype for EVE Online as well, this is the downside of hype. You can basically burn yourself out very quickly on something like that as well, and that's basically what was happening here. So maybe as a quick addendum on this video as well, I don't really have any videos at this point ready for like the upcoming weeks, and when it comes to EVE Online, until CCP comes out with something new to do, I don't really have anything that I want to say at the moment really immediately, unless there's like a cool topic like NFTs or something like that that would pop up, but I'm just not really seeing any content that I want to make, that I feel I have to make at the moment. And luckily for me, both gaming and the YouTube channel are still just a hobby, and so I'm going to really take it easy, think a little bit about what I want to do, what kind of videos I want to make. Those that are always that will still be made is Eve Talk, 100% sure, and the Sunday recap as well, so that I can keep you guys up to date on what I've been doing, what I've been trying, and what I've been thinking. But perhaps next week there might not be any videos, except maybe a couple of tiny updates on what I'm doing in Path of Exile. But I'll be honest, getting crushed into maps does feel really bad, although I've got a new plan going as well. And yeah, that was my last week in games, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and as always, I'll see you next time.